How do ordinary people become millionaires? Now, I wasn't born into a rich family. My family and I immigrated to the US in the late 90s, and I remember how much we didn't have, but we were fortunate to have some support from other family members already living in the US. I couldn't speak any English, so naturally I got picked on at school, and I graduated from high school with no intentions of going to college, so I decided to enlist in the Air Force at age 18. I got my citizenship, I got fluent in English, and then I made some bad financial decisions. Like many people, I thought I was going to work until I turned 62 or 65. I didn't really pay attention to my finances until I got myself into over $110,000 in credit card debt, personal loans, and auto loans, and it took me almost 2 years to pay everything off by selling my cars and living way below my means. I'm 35 years old, and we now have over 7 figures in assets. I didn't do anything special. I started to build a business mindset by creating several side hustles to increase my income. I didn't build my net worth in just a year, but it's taken me over 7 years to get to where I am now. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Sai and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how ordinary people like you and me can become millionaires and retire early. And I want to share what I've learned in the past 7 years to get to where I am now and what the plan is moving forward. My wife and I just got married last week, and we're determined to achieve Fat Fire by age 45, making $100,000 a year in passive income. The toughest thing I had to do was change my financial mindset, because before I got on my Fat Fire journey, I always thought people had to be born rich, and I really thought that. And my mindset was to pay my bills, look at how much money I had left in my budget, and then spend it all. And I literally spent every dollar and put the bare minimum into my TSP when I was on active duty in my early years. I started to borrow money from my credit cards with the money I didn't have. And I did a detailed video on how I paid off $47,000 in credit cards, making $58,000 a year. I will put that link in the description below. I also borrowed money from my TSP, which is equivalent to a 401k. I took out more personal loans to help fund my lifestyle that I clearly couldn't afford. When I realized I couldn't afford the minimum payments anymore, I needed help. And it took me 2 years to completely pay off my debt, and that was the best financial decision I've ever made, because I wouldn't be where I am now with all that debt. But of course, like everyone else watching this video, I wish I knew what I know now when I was 18, or I would have been a millionaire 5 years ago, right? This is when I realized I could use my experience to turn it into a side hustle by becoming a financial coach. I also read the following books that changed my life: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, and believe it or not, Excel for Dummies. And when I was paying off my debt, I wanted to know where every dollar went, and I didn't trust any budget apps, and this was back in 2014, to do all that for me. So eventually I started to make Excel products like budgeting, investing, saving, and I made my budget personalized and many more. And you can download these spreadsheets for free by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. You can also check out the Fireside Chat shop and have all of my stuff on my bookshelf at firesidechat.com/shopping. After doing a lot of research, I was sold on the FIRE movement, which stands for financial independence and retire early. So at age 29, I knew I wanted to retire in my 40s. Right after I paid off my $110,000 debt, I asked myself the following questions. Do I make enough money to achieve FIRE in 15 or 20 years? And what are my long and short-term financial goals? So now we have both short and long-term financial goals. The short-term goals are to travel to a new place every year and continue to diversify our net worth. Is it realistic for us to have save and invest $2.8 million by age 45? Absolutely. We're saving half of our income right now, and we're prioritizing the following investment accounts. So every year we will max out our TSP, 401k, IRAs, and HSAs. We also have a fully funded emergency fund in place. However, if we ever had to use our emergency fund for any unexpected reasons, we would probably pause on maximizing our TSP or 401k and work on our emergency fund instead. And it's very important for us to have an emergency fund in place, because I never want to borrow from my 401k or TSP ever again. We would like to have enough cash, but not too much cash at the same time. We're being very intentional with what we're spending and saving. By 2031, we should have about $1 million saved in our dividend stock portfolio. So with a 4% annual dividend yield, we should be able to make about $40,000 a year in dividend income. Our growth stock portfolio should also have about $1 million, but we're going to prioritize our dividend portfolio for the early withdrawals. I have made several videos about how we prioritize our investments, and I will put those links in the description below. We also invest in the 529 and UTMA or UTMA accounts to build wealth for our next generations. It's not that I want to spoil my kid, but I want to make sure she has the support she needs going into her adult years. And I never got that opportunity growing up. And not that I ever blame my parents for that, but I want to be better and different. You start investing for your generational wealth the day you start saving for your retirement. So when you pass away, these accounts will have to go somewhere, right? Unless you're truly on your own and you have no other family members. You're also creating generational wealth by educating your kids on personal finances. We need to do it right by our kids and not just give them cash straight up, right? Teach them how to save and invest, and I promise you they will be successful. By the way, if you need help with your personal finances, you can schedule a free 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting fivesidechat.com/coaching. One of the first things I did at the beginning of my FIRE journey was to find a higher paying job, and at the time I paid off my debt, I was only making $58,000 a year. That was not enough for me to max out my investment accounts every year. And I was already living below my means, but I needed to increase my income to maximize my contributions to my TSP or 401k, Roth IRA, and other investment accounts. Can I retire a millionaire making $58,000 a year? Absolutely. However, $58,000 would take me a lot longer to achieve FIRE, and I would need a little bit of luck from the stock market, right? By 2017, my income increased from $58,000 to $120,000 a year in modified adjusted gross income. And I was able to maximize my 401k at $18,000, Roth IRA at $6,000, and invest more into my taxable brokerage account. So in 2018, my total balance reached $100,000 in retirement and non-retirement assets. That's when I thought, wow, saving half of my income truly shows progress for my FIRE journey. And I didn't settle for just two sources of income. I wanted to create multiple streams of income. And the whole purpose of the FIRE journey is to eventually replace your active income with passive income, right? From 2018 to 2021, my priority was to save at least half of my income for my early retirement. I actually bought season tickets to the Las Vegas Raiders in late 2018, which has become a lucrative side hustle for me in the past 2 seasons, not counting the pandemic in 2020. I also wanted to become a financial coach, and I decided to use YouTube to teach people like you on how to achieve financial independence. And the videos I've been making since 2021 will eventually become another source of income. Now that my wife and I are married, we will eventually buy rental properties so we don't put all our eggs in the same basket. We want to create more cash flow so that when the stock market tanks like it has been this year, we can rely on other sources of income. Wait, I can't remember how to spell income, but that's okay because I have Grammarly. Grammarly can proofread your writing and save you so much time and make your writing look professional. I've been using Grammarly Premium since 2018, and it saves me so much time from having to proofread my emails. I also use Grammarly to proofread my resume, which got me a job paying 6 figures in salary. You can get the free version of Grammarly, and I will put my affiliate link in the description below. Now let's talk a little bit about time versus money. I know I've been talking about how we're going to retire early at 45, but we're more focused on becoming financially independent and getting our time back. I chose Fat Fire when I was 29 because that's the lifestyle I wanted to have in early retirement without ever worrying about running out of money. Now that I'm married, we're building a Fat Fire portfolio together, and time is going to be more precious than money. Here's some things that we're choosing time over money right now. We have house cleaners that come to the house once a month or once every 2 months. I realized that paying someone, say $100 to clean the house for 2 hours will allow me to work on other things for 2 hours. And I don't do this very often, but if I had to order food just so that I could work on my videos, then I would order Uber Eats so I could save some time from making a trip. Keep in mind that every time I hire someone else to do something, it's not because I'm lazy, but because I'm utilizing that time to reinvest into my business. As we get closer to the fat fire number at $2.8 million, we would purchase luxury items like first class tickets for international travels. We would probably purchase fast passes at the Universal Studios or Disney World so we wouldn't have to stand in line for hours for a ride. I would get a massage every month so that I can decompress from all the work I have to do on a daily basis. I don't personally care to buy luxury items because I'm all about the experiences. As having an expensive car doesn't make me happy. An expensive house doesn't make me happy. If you ask your kids what they got for Christmas last year, they probably won't remember it. But if you ask your kids what they did at the Universal Studios, they will forever remember their experience. So before you start investing to achieve financial independence, you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. And is it because you don't want to work your 9-to-5 job anymore for the rest of your life? Is it because you want to spend more time with your family? Are you working to replace your active income with passive income? Sticking to a budget can be hard sometimes, but you have to remember your why. Why do you want to become financially independent and retire early from the workforce? If you want to know more about how to invest for your future, be sure to check out these 2 videos. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.